A very good morning to all the students. This is Veena teacher. I hope all of you are safe. Please take care of yourself. From the past 1 week, we are seeing many cases of COVID in our Jamshedpur. So this is a time when we have to be extremely careful. Even though there can be some relaxation from the lockdown, but see that you're taking all the precautions, you're maintaining social distance, and you're using the masks and gloves whenever you go out. So all the precautions you're taking so that you're protecting yourself and you're protecting your family members also. It may be frustrating to stay at homes, from the past so many months we have been doing that. But please remember, children, this is a time that is very crucial. So please take care of yourselves. Health is very important. Prevention is always better than cure. Now, without wasting much time further, let us start with the second chapter of our syllabus, that is caring for water. So you can see here a beautiful sight. You can see water, you can see rain, you can see nature. So in this chapter, we're going to discuss everything about water. Just like soil, in this chapter, we're going to discuss various aspects of water, reasons for the water pollution, how to prevent water pollution, how to save water. All these things are going to be covered in this chapter. It's going to be a very, very interesting chapter. So all of you, please pay attention. Now, two-thirds of Earth's surface is covered by water, and water circulates through the land just as it is does through the human body, transporting, dissolving, replenishing nutrients and organic matter while carrying away the waste materials. So this is what nature, in the nature we find water doing. And in a human body also, 75% of a human body is made up of water, and it regulates the activities of fluids, tissues, cells, lymph, blood and granular secretions. On an average, an adult body contains 42 liters of water, that is a massive amount of water. And with just small loss of 2.7 liters, he or she can suffer from dehydration, displaying symptoms of irritability, fatigue, nervousness, dizziness, and also weakness, headaches, and all these kinds of symptoms can be seen. So that is the importance of water. Now these are summer months also, so you have to just consciously make an effort to drink adequate amount of water. So right from the morning you start your day by drinking minimum 2 glasses of water, and you see that you're counting your water intake. And remember, minimum 8 to 10 glasses of water you have to drink every day. Now you have a lot of time with you, so in these days when you're having a lot of time, take care of your health, because you have to improve your immunity first. So just think about the amount of water that you're drinking. The fruits and vegetables that you eat also contains great amount of water. These days you get watermelons and all. So when you eat watermelon also, you're getting lot of water, lot of fluids are going inside your body. So please see that you're drinking adequate amount of water. Okay, that is about the water that is present inside our body, as well as the water that is present on the land. Now, sources of water, from where we are getting water. Now when you see the sources of water, you can see here the sources of surface water. The sources of water is, first is surface water, and next you have lakes and rivers, then rock catchments areas and rock holes, bore wells, etc. Now coming to the surface water, this is the water which falls on the ground as rain. So this water is collected from the special area called catchment area. The area where rain falls and gets collected, that area is called catchment area. Catchment feeds water into holding areas via rivers, streams, creeks, etc. And this water is stored in natural or artificial barriers called dams, reservoirs, etc. So that is one kind of water that we call it as surface water. Now coming to lakes and rivers. Towns or community water supplies are sometimes drawn directly from nearby lakes or rivers. Okay, so that is also a source of water. Next is rock catchment areas and rock holes. Sometimes large rocky outcrops contain low areas in which water is trapped. These low areas make good natural dams. Often, a well can be built to increase the amount of trapped water. So, that is also one source of water. And next, you have the bore wells and wells. Bore wells and wells are the holes drilled into the ground deep enough to find permanent water body. A pipe runs down the hole into the water and a pump is used to get the water up to the ground level. This water is then pumped to the community. So these are all sources of water. Now, children, this topic is very important in the current scenario because around 2 billion people, or almost one-fifth of world's population, live in areas of water scarcity. With the existing climate change scenario, by 2030, means 10 years from now, water scarcity in some arid and semi-arid places will displace between 24 million to 700 million people. So imagine you're getting up early in the morning and then you go to the washroom and you see that there is no water coming from the tap. So you can understand how annoying it's going to be. So you have to understand that the water scarcity is a situation that we are going to face very soon unless and until we take some steps today. Now let us discuss what is watershed. Watershed refers to the slopes or sides of the basins of the rivers and lakes. Okay, so that particular area is called watershed. I'll show you the picture of watershed. Now this is a watershed. A watershed is a basin-like landform defined by high points and ridge lines that descend into the lower elevations and streams. So here you can see that the water is moving up, water is coming from up and down. It is collecting here. So this particular area is called the watershed. A watershed carries water shed. Shed means dropped from the land after rain falls and snow melts. Drop by drop, it is channeled into the soil, groundwaters, creeks, streams, etc., making its way to larger rivers and eventually to the sea. So, watershed means here whatever water is getting collected from all these areas, this is a watershed, this is a watershed, and ultimately the water is moving, and it is reaching the ocean. So, this particular area is called watershed. Now, children, in next module, I am going to continue with the watershed. And we're going to see, what are the various methods by which we can manage the watersheds, and what are the advantages of having the watersheds. All these aspects we're going to cover in next module. So all of you, please remember what I'm saying. All of you, please stay home, stay safe, and see that you're maintaining social distance, you're washing your hands repeatedly, and then you're wearing the masks whenever you're moving out of your houses. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves.